Hey, I wanted to talk with you about this today, and I also wanted to take a pen because this is how I learn, and I'm figuring that you might learn like this too. So let's talk about the big topic. This is why I got into coaching. This is why I have I lost 25 pounds 7 years ago and have kept it off the whole time. And so when my clients are like, how the hell did you do that? And I want to do that too, but maybe it's 5 or 10 pounds, maybe it's more than 20 pounds, maybe it's 30 pounds, maybe it's 40 pounds, maybe it's 50 pounds, whatever it is. Why does your program work? And I've done all these other things and I've had success, but then I end up gaining the weight back. So I'm literally going to lay out the exact steps of why you can't lose weight. Okay, so let's start with number one. So I want you to ask questions. So I'm just going to write that here. And then I have a session in a little bit. Questions, welcome. So as you join and maybe you're struggling with weight, or maybe a family member, a friend, a coworker, whoever it is, I'm going to tell you why you can't lose weight in very simple, laid out forms. So this will go even better when you're asking questions. And I don't care. You can say, this is for a friend, even if it's for you, whatever. This is how it's going to go. So, and what makes me this weight loss expert? I've been doing this for 7 years. So I was just saying, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I have coached hundreds and hundreds of women to lose weight after they have found some success on other programs and it's come back. And I know when someone is not going to achieve their weight loss goal based on what they're telling me, like, and we're not working together, but what they're saying, I'm like, she's not gonna, like, I know intuitively, she's not gonna lose any weight because of this. Or if meals are pre-portioned and you didn't do it, and you're talking about a meal delivery service and you've lost 30 pounds from it in 4 weeks and you're really excited, and then you're like, but it's really expensive. And so I know you're not going to stick with it, and I know it's just a short-term thing. So let's get into it, okay? Ask the questions. Reason number one, why you can't lose weight. You're eating too late, okay? So that's going to be the first one. Eating too late. And then some people are like, well, I work until 7 or 8 p.m. or this is like the only time I have to eat, or I don't eat anything throughout the day, and so I have my one meal at night. No. You are most likely, if you're eating a lot at night, if you're binging at night, this is going to be one of the things that holds you back from weight loss, like almost more than anything. So if you're doing this, I would suggest, and this might sound crazy to you if you're just like a night owl, crazy, goony hoo-hoo, but I would suggest stopping to eat at 6 o'clock and just giving yourself that time for the digestive system to do what it needs to do. So you wake up and you don't have to have a cup of coffee. You don't have to have any caffeine to get your digestion system going. It's just ready. That's what happens to me. If I eat, like if the last meal is at 5 or 6, or I finish eating at 6, say I have a fitness shoot, or say I'm doing an acting job, and I'm like, I take 2 or 3 days and I just like tighten things up a little bit. And I'm telling you, within those 2 or 3 days, you can lose 2 pounds. And it's not water weight, it's that your system is working for you. So one is eat late. Let's talk about number two. You're not moving enough. And I'm writing these down because I'm probably going to send this video in an email and then put these tips underneath it as well. You're not moving enough. So if you're a person that works out in the daytime or the nighttime, and you work out once, and it's like a 60-minute yoga class, a 60-minute bar class, CrossFit, TRX, boot camp, running, whatever it is, that's 1 hour of the day. So what are you doing the rest of the day? Are you sitting down? Do you go for a walk later in the day? Is it 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Is it an hour walk? Are you weightlifting? Like, what are you doing besides that 1 hour class or 1 hour workout? Are you up? Are you outside in the yard? Are you in the kitchen? Are you cooking? Or are you sitting down, typing? And this is, I'll tell you a little story. This is something that happened to me, is that as my coaching business grew, and it's still growing, and sometimes there's still times when there's not as many clients, and I'm just, honestly, in a way, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, because I know the universe provides for the amount of energy I have. So, and it does for you too. So I want you to think about what you're doing throughout the entire day. And so what I was saying is, this happened to me. I was getting really busy, and I realized, like, yeah, I'd go to like a 60-minute yoga class, and then I would sit the rest of the day on sessions, or I'd be writing, or I'd be updating a page on my website, and I'd just be sitting for so long that I started feeling like glubby, just like bleh, not strong, just flubby. Like my clothes didn't feel good. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, where did my muscle tone go? And that was kind of a wake up for me to get back on track. So that's the second thing. My suggestion, if you were a client, my suggestion would be to get your workout in and then try to get that 10,000 steps a day. It is actually really hard unless you're in a hospital. I know a lot of nurses get like 15,000, 16,000 steps, a lot of firemen. Those are the two that I've noticed the most, maybe teachers too. But I would suggest getting that 10,000 steps if you are looking for weight loss. So first thing was eating too late. Second thing was you're not moving enough. Let's talk about the third reason why you can't lose weight. Processed food. So this is a big one. Say you're waking up and you're having a protein bar, and that's how you start your day. Your brain is going to want something like that protein bar for the rest of the day. Like, say you started your day with a smoothie. You're going to feel really good with that smoothie. If you start the day with that, you're going to want to maybe make some protein balls. Maybe you're going to want to have a salad. Maybe you want to have an acai bowl. Maybe you want eggs and bacon and spinach. Maybe you want, like, whatever it is. If you start your day with real food, you're going to want to continue that, versus if you start your day with a cup of coffee and a protein bar, you're basically stripping your body's natural energy source from the get. So that would be my third tip, is to start the day with something real, and that's going to set you up way better than a protein bar will. And also, if you wanted to just put a little green juice in there, some celery, apple, lemon, you don't have a juicer, there's tons of juice to buy at Costco or Whole Foods. Trader Joe's has them now. So that's another thing. The fourth thing, you're not drinking enough water. And we hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. You're not drinking enough water. And then I have some clients who are like, I'm drinking so much water, but I still feel dehydrated. And I'm like, well, water doesn't fill you up on a cellular level. The only thing that can do that is fruit and herbs and coconut water and bananas and things that have potassium, and they're equally balanced. So if you're not drinking enough water, this is going to be big. When I am juicing a lot in spring and summer, I do not crave water as much, because I am hydrated on a cellular level, versus if I'm not having as many juices, I just am like in a phase where I don't want to clean it and I haven't gotten enough produce to make one, then I'm going to be drinking more water. I usually have a water bottle right next to me everywhere I go. In the car, this is like one of my favorite tips. This one helps so many people. When you're driving, keep the cap off of your water bottle. And say it's like one of those things where it's like, and it pops off, it's like a shaker bottle. Keep that open. That will motivate you to drink water more frequently. I do that at home too. I almost never have the cap on the water, because it's just an extra step. If you can keep the cap off, you're just going to drink the water and you're going to be golden. Okay. So not drinking enough water, and people are like, there's so many different ways to determine how much water your specific body needs. But this is what I found. Again, within 7 years of coaching and coaching hundreds of women, this is what I found. 3 liters is the hot spot. 2 to 3, okay. 2.5, we're getting closer. Maybe 2.5 to 3 liters is the hot spot. And it also depends on if you're doing hot yoga, if you're running, if you're just dripping sweat, if you're naturally sweaty, like any of those things, your water consumption is going to be determined by what you specifically need. If you're talking a lot, like me in my coaching sessions, or public speaking, or giving workshops, or at retreats, you're going to need to hydrate 10 times more than the person who's listening, because talking dries out your throat. If you fly a lot, you're going to need more water because flying dehydrates you. All these tips. So we have our 4 tips. Eating too late. Number 2, you're not moving enough. Number 3, you're eating too much processed food. 4, not drinking enough water. So now we come to 5. Why can't you lose weight? You're using sugar to satisfy emotional cravings. Okay? Write that down. Using sugar to satisfy emotional cravings. So say you are stressed, you're financially strapped, and you are stressed and not enough money is coming in and you feel low. So what do? You're obviously going to reach for sugar. You have too much pressure to succeed. The one thing you have control over, or so you think, is that you have control over what you're eating, which it is so the exact opposite when you're binging. When you're binging and purging, it's a completely different thing. So when you are going ham on the sugar, it's usually because you're craving something emotionally that you are not getting. So you could have all the love in the world from your family, your friends, your coworkers, everyone around you. Doesn't matter if you don't truly value and love who you are. So I can think of a few people in particular who use sugar to keep them up because they're feeling so down. They don't want to feel down. So then they reach for an upper. They reach for something that's going to activate that part of the brain, the same part of the brain that if you're doing lines of coke or you're doing other drugs, it activates that same part of the brain that's just like, woo, feeling good, feeling high, yeah. Sugar does the exact same thing. So you might not like drinking, you might not like drugs, but if you like sugar, it's kind of within that same realm of fulfilling something that doesn't feel fulfilling an emptiness. That's what it is. So those are the 5, well, those are 5 of many reasons why you can't lose weight. So if you just shift one of those things and you decide, you know what, I've heard her talk about this before. I'm going to start my day. I'm going to go buy a $50 juicer from Amazon, and I'm going to go spend $100 at Costco on produce, and I'm going to start juicing. And say it starts out sweet, and it's apples and lemon and ginger because you need a little immune boost kick too. Say that's how it starts out. There, just like with changing that one habit, you're going to be lifetimes ahead of where you would have been if you tried to do all of these 5 things at once. So choose one of the tips, start there, and then check back in with me within 2 weeks, and things will be different. Okay? All right. Bye.